Hello, hello. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Can you hear me? You can hear me,
Yes,
right?
we can hear
Okay.
you. Yeah,
We
yeah,
can hear
Okay.
you. All right.
yeah.
Good.
Well,
So,
thank you for joining us again tonight. And it's going to be an interesting topic that we're going to talk about. And some people may not think that, oh, what to talk about for water. But there's a lot to talk about water when you look at it more and more. So um, let's, why is water important?
well, for muscles, for one thing,
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, well,
Circulatory function,
Quench
right?
your thirst.
Yeah.
The body needs water. You cannot survive without
without
water,
the water.
period.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and the thing is that our body actually 60% is water, believe it
Water.
or not.
Yes.
So if you don't hydrate properly and you get dehydrated, your body doesn't work. Like Willard said, the muscle's not going to work because muscle cell need proper amount of water to be able to exchange nutrients and toxin and all of that. So
Correct.
Yep. It plays such a vital role. And the reason that I thought this topic was really interesting is because we kind of take water for granted, right? You don't pay a lot of attention to it up until you don't have any, right? Then, and I remember years ago seeing a show, and they said like, the human can go whatever days without food, but not that long without water.
Correct.
So we have
yeah,
to have water to survive. More important than actually food, right? For a shorter period of time.
it's interesting thing that people don't pay attention to water, but we should actually be drinking enough based on our body weight. And a lot of people, when I talk to them, they don't know, and they think it's how to calculate and how difficult it is to figure out how much water to drink. And I always tell them it's a simple formula: half of your body weight divided by 8.
Huh.
That's how many glasses of water a day your body needs.
In pounds, Dennis, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in pounds. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I
Because in
even though
kilograms, yeah.
even though I live in Canada, somehow grew up in a British system in Asia, so I still think of it as a pound. And a lot of these, training and education and information come from US, and they still use imperial. So
Yes.
yeah, for example, I'm like 126 pounds soaking wet. So, unfortunately, that's a good weight for me because I should be heavier than that. But I never, throughout the school years and stuff, like up to last 5 years, I weighed like 110 and I was underweight. So, like, say 126 for me divided by half, that's 63 divided by 8. I should be drinking at least 7 to 8 glasses of water a day. So one glass of water is 240 ml. I'm gonna now try to convert to the metrics thing, and
Roughly 8 ounces.
a cup of measuring cup, like in the kitchen that we use, that's 250 ml.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to, I have to drink about 2 liters of water a day for my body weight. So well, for you with the exercise and all of that, you probably will
About
need even
12.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But one thing I tell people, like when I said that to people, they're like, "Oh, I only drink 3 cups, so tomorrow I'm going to go drink like 8 cups." You can't do that. You're going to end up in the washroom all day long because your body cannot absorb it that quickly.
Yeah.
So I tell people is try and increase 1 glass every week and let the body get used to getting more hydration because you're used to not drinking enough. So the cells are functioning with amount of water that you give. But when you go and put it so much at one time, too much at one thing is not good.
Correct.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what. So you gotta gradually train your body and cell to take up the water. So that's sort of the basic of okay, how much to drink, how to hydrate type of thing. And that's what I tell people. A lot of time I even see patients that coming into me and saying, I got a headache all the time. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I think you're dehydrated. You
Yeah.
know, just go back and drink some water. And a few weeks later, they come back and, yeah, my headache is gone now. And so it's, we forget to drink. And for me, like I carry this to work every day. Now, this is like a liter of the bottle, water bottles. I try to drink at least, there you go, one, if not two a day. My goal is supposed to be two, but there's days I only get end up with a one. And today is one of those days, so that's why I'm having my water bottle with me, also talking about water.
Right. And
Yeah,
you can overdo it too with water,
Hmm.
can't you? You can overdo it. You can literally
Absolutely,
you can literally drown over drinking.
absolutely,
Yes,
you
I heard
can,
about
because
that. Yeah.
there's too much water, then your cell get, like you said, drown, because too
Hmm.
much water, then they can't take up anymore. And
Right.
then if it is too much, then it's become leaky, all of that. That's not gonna function. Like too much pressure inside the cell then. And
Right.
then, it's not gonna function properly. So nothing is good too little or too much. Has to be,
Right.
you know, moderation and balance with everything. So water's no exception.
Okay.
I think that's great, Dennis. Like we talked about. Okay, so now we kind of know, roughly the guideline or the recommendations of what we should be drinking, okay, or getting into our systems, and to
Yeah.
not overdo it. Like you see, if you're drinking 3 or 4, going up to 10 right away, it
Hmm.
might be a little bit hard. But slowly try to do that. But now, really, it's the way that why hydration is so important. Why does it elevate your health, and why should we be so concerned, or why should we be focused on that part of the hydration? And that we'll get into, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said initially, our body is 60% water. And, like Willard said, your muscle's not going to work. And not just the muscle, but every cell. The way our cells are is there's a water inside, there's a water outside. And the cell membrane, if working properly, that exchange that water, taking nutrients in, taking nutrients out, and there's an equilibrium there. And you don't want too much water outside, and you don't want too much water inside. So there's when people come to me, I do the body composition. And Norm, I done that for you. I don't know if I done that for you, Willa, but we gotta do that if we haven't.
Oh yeah.
That tell you that how much water you have inside the cell, how much water you have outside the cell, and
Hmm.
how your cell membranes are functioning and controlling water in and out, and
Okay.
all of that. And also, we also test the percentage of the fat cell, percentage of muscle cell, all of that. And so, based on studies are shown that your extracellular water compared with the whole body water, you should not have more than 40%
Okay.
outside of the cell. That's why like 60% has to be inside the cell so that the cell can function. Like every cell has, almost every cell, muscle cell especially has a mitochondria, something called mitochondria. That's our
Storage.
energy production, you know,
Hmm.
uh, powerhouse. And those thing does not work properly if you don't have enough water in there that can bring the nutrients and all of that. And of course, our blood, it's water. The
Right.
whole, circulation carrying nutrients and oxygen and stuff. You need the proper amount of water. Like I recently did the live blood cell analysis, and uh, if you're dehydrated, you will see the cell more sticky. Also, if you don't have proper amount of minerals and stuff, your cell's gonna be more electrically, different charge and stick to each other. So, there's always, when I did it initially, mine came out a little bit sticky, and then I drank the mineral water, and within 15 minutes, I did the test again, and it's totally different flow of the red blood cell and all of that. So, it shows you how important everything is, especially the water that, what kind of water you have in your system, right?
That's pretty amazing, Dennis. And
Yeah.
Dennis, there's some questions coming in, but one that fits really good, Willard, with what you do, and that's really is if someone's in a daily workout regimen. So Willard, I know you work out a lot. Should
Yes.
water intake during that time be more intensive?
I
Doug in
think
California.
what Dennis said, it was more in moderation. Okay, even at working out, right? You can still overdo it working out.
Yeah.
Okay, if you drink too much water, it's just like we're playing football. It's a hot day. Of course, you want to replenish all your fluids, but you can overdo it there too. Getting side aches. You get side aches sometime when you drink too much water, and it's just like anything else. You overdo it, you'll pay for it.
Yeah.
So is that basically saying that when you're working out, if you're working out intensively or just having a good workout, that you should hydrate, but don't
Overhydrate.
Don't overhydrate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean the rule of getting a athlete's hydration balance while you're working out or while you're playing football or whatever it is, right? Um, you can't overdo it, right? You can always overdo something, right?
Yeah.
So it's let's say it's this as a catch-22, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And from my point of view is if you're working out, say, like for example, for me, I have to drink, 8 glasses of water a day. When I'm working out, I may need to drink more glasses than, other times. So, throughout you balance out
Right.
how much you're going to drink. I may not drink a lot after, or I may drink, I may not drink a lot before, but during the exercise, because I'm sweating, the body then want more water at that time.
Right.
But like Willa said, don't overdo it. And the same thing for me is by the end of the day, it's going to be 8 glasses or 9 glasses.
Exactly.
You don't want to push it more.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. It's kind of funny because the questions that are coming in are really the next part was really looking at, is all water created equally?
No.
So is water? Is it
No. The first thing that I will say is, and people are gonna say, oh, whatever, but tap waters are now really, really, really polluted
Yeah.
with every chemical out there. I was reading an article today that there is 91 pollutant that they tested in the water, and they set the limit saying only should be that much. But now when they test the tap water, there's about 160 something pollutant in there. So they only tested 91 and set the limit saying more than that will be toxic. But the other one, they have no idea. And now they knowing that, we hear on the news, right? These fish and stuff, you can find all these toxin and pharmaceuticals and all of that. So I know cities are doing purification, etc., but not good enough. So for me, it's at least you have to have a filter water, some sort of purification. And if you can, that's the best way to do it. Like I know there's, different discussion of distilled water or, reverse osmosis, all of that, or just filter water. So depending on what you want to filter, right? So certain filter will filtrate heavy metal, toxin, chlorine, etc. And then the next step is reverse osmosis or distilled water. Those will take out everything, including minerals. And I've been drinking reverse osmosis water for almost 15 years. And 10 years ago, I actually installed a under sink, reverse osmosis drinking water system myself in my house and at work also. And that's what we drink. The other downside with the reverse osmosis is that people say, oh, take out all the minerals so you don't have the mineral from the water. My thing is I use the mineral salt. So I use either Himalayan red salt or Celtic sea salt or red mineral salt. Those are the
Hmm.
three that I know has the mineral in it. But I know people out there will say, "Oh, with the blood pressure, you're supposed to eat less salt." That's the different. That's another subject that we can discuss about salt. Is that there's a table salt and then there's a mineral salt. I have
Right.
not used the table salt, the white salt, for almost 20 years.
Okay.
And I use the mineral salt that tastes different. I don't need as much, but there's a study that shown that if you use the proper mineral salt, that actually even reduce the blood pressure.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's a specific book that written by Dr. David Brownstein called Salt, and it's very thin book and it's easy to read. I was introduced to that by Dr. David Brownstein when I was training with him back in 2008. And that's one thing he does in his practices. When people come in with a high blood pressure, the first thing he assesses what kind of salt are they using and what kind of food are they eating. And
Hmm.
then he will introduce that mineral salt type of thing. So it's
Oh, well,
interesting stuff. But
yeah.
so for me is I put back the mineral salt with my cooking and stuff. So I'm getting my
Okay.
mineral, I take multivitamins, etc. So
So, are you getting enough of the minerals when you put it in your food? Is what I'm.
you
Yeah.
do, because the what some of the studies and suggestion that I've seen from these functional practitioner is that if need to, you can put like half a teaspoon of mineral salt into a liter of water,
Hmm.
and that will give you enough. And of course, depend on person to person and exercise, etc. When you're exercising intensely, you're gonna lose more mineral, right? So then you want to have even like so. For me, is when summertime, I'm doing something outside and I'm sweating. I literally put half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of salt in a liter of water and I'll drink that
Okay.
rather
So,
than
yeah.
doing
So,
Gatorade or anything. Or the other thing is coconut water. Sorry,
oh,
Wallace, sorry.
no,
Yeah,
no, no,
coconut water
no.
is really good mineral water. So
Oh,
that's what I do. Yeah.
oh, okay. I don't. Me personally, I don't like coconut milk.
Yeah.
But
The water is
Coconut water.
the
Yeah,
water
yeah.
is different.
yeah,
Yeah.
coconut
Yeah.
milk. Okay, or
Yeah.
water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Water is a little
Um,
different.
so let's say you go on a workout. You're going to do a heavy workout. Do you suggest putting salt in your
Yeah. Yeah.
your
Water.
thermos or
Yeah.
something like a teaspoon?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, instead of like Gatorade and stuff, which is
Right.
they're trying to put the mineral, but there's a lot more other additives. So
No,
I
sure,
usually
sure.
tell people is in a bottle, put a teaspoon, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of mineral salt in it, and drink that.
Hmm.
And with people with the adrenal dysfunction, we even tell people to put a quarter teaspoon of mineral salt in an 8 ounce glass of water, drink it once a day
Okay.
to rebalance the minerals in these adrenal dysfunction patient, chronic
Oh,
stress patient. Yeah.
I can remember back in high school, we used to take little these salt pills. Yeah,
Hmm.
when we went out for football practice or even a football game.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Never really knew what that was about. And when I
Right.
say
Yeah.
it helps your sweating. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So the other question that just came in from my friend Doug Nanton. Hi, Doug. Is what about pre-bedtime? Should we take more water? And I find it that you have to train your body, depending on person to person, drinking, uh, hydrating enough before bedtime actually help you sleep. I find
Well,
it that people dehydrated, they will wake up and have to go to drink middle of the night, or if they don't in the morning, again with the high dehydration, they get headache when they wake up. But you need to kind of train your system, train your body. Yeah, if you not used to drinking before bedtime type of thing, yeah, you drink, too much, you're gonna have to get up middle of the night to empty it. Or on the other hand, if you have more and more stress, your bladder will not handle it. But if you are more relaxed and enough magnesium and minerals in your system, your bladder should supposed to be able to hold it until the morning.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I find it that when I'm the week that I'm stressed, middle of the night, I will get up and go to pee. But lately, because I'm so stressed, I'm doing meditation morning and bedtime. And I find it that there's a few days that doing meditation twice a day, I didn't have to get up and pee. Even though I'm
Oh,
drinking same amount, like I drink coffee before bedtime, like I have
yeah.
the reishi mushroom coffee that I drink.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, I can't drink coffee before bedtime. For me, it's that calm me down because of, the reishi and all of that. So I
Okay.
drink that before I go to bed. And there's days that when I'm stressed, I have to go up and, 2 o'clock, have to go to washroom. But like I said, since Friday, I've been doing meditation because I've been just finding it more stress. So I added extra meditation at bedtime instead of just the morning. And that actually helped relaxes my muscle. The thing is that when the bladder is too full, and if the bladder cannot relax and stretch, then it's going to be spasming, it's going to push, and then you have to go to the washroom and go pee. But if you have enough relaxation, muscle relaxation, and sleep and stuff, you should be able to sleep through.
So you meditate before you go to bed.
I
You
meditate before I go to bed.
you
Yeah.
take you take water with salt in it.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been meditating before go to bed off and on for like 3 years. Yeah. But
3 years.
morning meditation, I've been doing that regularly for a little bit over 3 years.
And how long do you meditate?
In the morning, I do 15 minutes. Before bedtime, I do 20 minutes. I
Oh,
use a
okay.
different meditation. I play with different one. I share with Norman. Norman, I share different meditation. And now I'm settling into 2 different medication. In the morning, I do the 15-minute meditation by Emily Fletcher. I find
Okay.
that it's easier, relaxing. In the evening, I had a guided meditation by Bob Proctor, but it's actually Mind Valley meditation about abundance. And so I just listened to him. And last 2 nights, I was in and out falling asleep. I couldn't listen to it the whole thing. And, last night, I didn't even know that it was finished because I was already out. So,
Okay.
that tell me that it's, people say, oh, you're meditating and you fall asleep. It's not good. But it is good, especially before go to bed, because you want to sleep and you want to relax, and you relax enough that before meditation's done, you're asleep, which
Wow.
is great.
That's a good way to
I
fall asleep.
I've never meditated before going to sleep, but what I do like, um, I play this soothing music, for nighttime and stuff. Just put it on,
Hmm.
and,
Yeah.
and it's funny because I put it on last night, and I'm still sleeping. It only lasts about 40 minutes, and I think I will sleep by 20 minutes. 20 minutes with that music on, and that's my meditation, and I get a good night's
Absolutely.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
Something that relaxes you, right? And then you can
Yes.
concentrate on that. You can meditate on that. So,
That's interesting.
Yes.
We're talking about that too. So does water have an effect on your mood or your cognitive function?
absolutely, because again, the brain is up, like, our brain is fed in water, right? Our brain is literally floating in our skull, cushioned by the water,
Yeah.
to say it simply, like,
Yeah.
spinal fluid. And so if you don't have enough water, then you can't exchange nutrients and toxin. And, we kind of talk about a little bit of the sleep. I did something before that, when you sleep, your spinal fluid literally flow out of the brain. That's the only time to take the toxin out. Throughout the day, spinal fluid just flowing in to bring the nutrients and water and keep it, moist and stuff. So absolutely, without, like, that's why you get headache when you get dehydrated. The brains tell you first, I'm hurting because I don't have enough water.
Yeah.
And so,
Hmm.
like, and the other thing is we talk about filter water, etc. I know somebody just posted saying looking into spring water. You
I
need
saw
to
that.
be you need to be careful with it. Uh, when they say spring water, I've heard of, and I could be wrong, but I heard of company that saying, "Oh, spring water from whatever." They literally get the water from whatever and bottle it and sell it, and saying it's so good. You really need to know what's in that water,
Yeah.
right? So I'm going back to filter water just to
Okay.
be on the safe side. And the other thing is that when I'm traveling and I forget my water bottle, I will buy a bottle of water.
In
I
plastic.
try plastic. Yeah, I try not to anymore because I think last month I read the research article saying that now in the water they are finding nanoparticle of plastic,
Yeah.
and our body cannot get rid of it.
Yeah.
So having the filter water is better than these bottled water. Like bottled water, like they say, oh, reverse osmosis filter, whatever. But because in the plastic bottle, there a chance of plastic, nanoplastic in that filter water. So the best is if you can, your own filter water, or they have now some of the airport I find it that they have these water station, filter water station. Use those. Those will be better than buying the plastic bottle. And talk about plastic bottle. I'm gonna bring, somebody brought up about spring water. I'm gonna bring up one type of water, alkaline water, and I've actually drank that way back when, and I'm still back and forth. Is it better? Is it not better? So I did a little bit of this, search and stuff just to see lately what's out there about this uh, alkaline water. Is it really alkalinize our body or not? And according to Dr. Gundry, he said if you have the machine or system that can create 1 part per million of hydrogen in the water, it's good. And I don't know, I used to have the countertop machine and I don't remember what the hydrogen creation is. I just know alkaline water. And the other thing he said, which is really interesting, and I agree, is that there's company that's selling alkaline water, right? On the if you go to some of the shop and stuff, you see alkaline water. They are in plastic bottle. Hydrogen is a small molecule, and they bottle it this alkaline water into plastic bottle. Hydrogen escaped. So by the time you buy it, it's no longer gonna be alkaline water because you need that extra hydrogen in there to make the water alkaline.
Oh.
So if you have a alkaline, alkalinization machine at home, whatever, then put the water into glass bottle so that hydrogen cannot escape, and then try it. And some people say it works for them. Some people say doesn't change anything. When I was drinking it back in 2009, I had it for about 5 years, and I find it's help. But then after 5 years, I'm like, okay, I'm going to change to reverse osmosis because that wasn't filtering enough. I'm more concerned of the contaminants, so I switched to reverse osmosis. And from myself, now I'm looking at it and saying, I don't feel too different. For me, is I'm doing it to alkalinize my body. I do the lemon water and eating more greens.
Okay.
That give me better energy and functioning compared to alkaline water. But of course, in some cases, like when I was treating cancer patient from an integrated point of view, at some cases we do recommend sodium bicarbonate, a teaspoon or two into the water to really alkalinize the whole environment because cancer cell like acidic environment. So that's the only time that I would really tell people to drink a lot of sodium bicarbonate and in the water. So that simple fact is that filter water and drink enough, but not too much.
Okay.
And Norman, I kind of jokingly said it before we came on, thing. is it beer considered water? Like, so, it's funny when we talk about it, but people ask that question. Okay, so is it juice considered, part of the hydration? Can I count that? Coffee, can I count that? Tea, can I count that? How about beer? And so I've looked at it, all these different things. And from my point of view, people will say, oh, juice should be, but I don't think so, because when you use juice you allow that juice as a part of the hydration fluid, people tend to end up drinking a lot more juice and they tend to gain weight.
Yeah.
And a lot of the sugar, and then they become diabetic. Or if not, they gain 20 to 30 pounds in a few months because it's so much sugar. And I train my two kids, like one's 15 now, one's 18, to dilute their juice. We don't let them drink 100% juice. When they drink 100% juice, we laughed at them. They know that it's a treat. They can do it once in a while, but otherwise they have to dilute it at least 50-50, if not a quarter juice to 3/4 of the water. And the pop, no, that's not considered, again, hydration fluid. It's depending on how much sugar in it. It's actually, sugar can dehydrate you also, because sugar will pull it out, because so have the sugar in the whatever juice and stuff you drink, your body will pour the water out to dilute that.
Yeah, definitely not too healthy when you're talking about pop and beer and scotch.
Well, the funny thing was, again, back in 2009, 2010, I was really intensively training. And at that time, these organic blueberry juice and stuff came on market, saying great antioxidant. Studies have shown that you should be, drinking that blueberry juice and things. So company was selling it in liters. And I even stock it at my pharmacy, because thinking, okay, blueberry juice, good antioxidant. And then I'm reading more studies and I'm like, wait a minute, the studies are done on 2 ounces serving. They're selling like 1.5 liters, and people are coming to buy like 2 bottles at a time every few days. And I'm like, no. You're like loading up with almost half a bag of sugar.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I stopped selling it. So you have to be careful, when even you read some of these things, and, what to eat and what to drink type of thing. So, but like tea are good because amount of caffeines are not that high. Coffee, depending on how dark roast, etc., and how much caffeine in it, the more caffeine in it, the more dehydrating. So it's not helping. It's going to cause more issue. And for myself, I drink, Starbucks or Tim Horton coffee type of thing. I get headache. I can't handle it because it's just too much caffeine for me.
Yeah.
And I get jittery. I get headache within an hour. So I don't drink them. I just drink my own coffee at home, or I drink tea. So everybody's a little bit different, but general rule of thumb, coffee, I will avoid it as a hydration fluid, but tea is fine.
I love tea, so I drink a lot of it. I have tea parties or coffee parties at Tim Hortons almost every morning,
Nice.
meeting people for my top politics, and
Right.
and my friend Caesar gives me a hard time. He goes, "Oh, you're drinking tea," and of course he's always saying about sticking out a thumb and stuff like this. "Oh, you're drinking a little tea here, right?" But I'm glad you said that. So now I get to go and
Yeah,
give
you
him the
get to,
hard facts. Yes.
exactly. Yeah. Hey, I'm hydrating myself.
Exactly. So it was good.
Yeah.
This is great. So we are just about towards the end here. If there's any questions, please go ahead. Dennis, you can read another question from Doug.
Yeah, I just saw that Doug said comment about hydration and good kidney health.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and preventing kidney stone. A lot of time that people have kidney stone is one thing, they are dehydrated. that they don't have enough fluid or hydration, that it won't flush, because kidney need that. Kidney is one of the organ that detox and flush out bad stuff for us, apart from our bowel movement. So a lot of stuff go through there, and if you are dehydrated, there's potential of causing more kidney stone and stuff. So absolutely, having good proper amount of hydration will help. But the water itself, it's not the answer 100%. You have to look at what food you're eating, etc., that can create the stone. So you just have to kind of be aware of it. But absolutely, having that enough water for sure is a bonus.
Oh, okay.
Great. If there's any other questions,
that's really good. What's Amanda Stein? I liked what she said about the water. Been saying this over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People,
Someone is
people
saying
don't,
the same thing. Yeah.
People don't listen, right? And then people like, I know when back in 2008, 2009, when I was intensively training and I was talking about this, and a lot of people laughed at me too. Oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, whatever. And I'm like, hey, I'm learning this, and I'm going to do it for myself and
Yes.
see how I feel before I can tell other people. And for me, it's a lot of things that I tell people now is I've done it last 15, 20 years that I've
Okay.
done it, and I've seen, good back and whatever, right? And with my
Right.
experience, and I share that, because if you don't try it, you can tell people, hey, do this, because like, how do you know? Everybody's different. So at least when you try it and you see, what's going on or what's going to happen or help or not, then you can kind of say, yeah, this work or not. Talk about the alkaline water and like plastic water. I just thought of one thing. I was at JG Virgin Mindshare Leadership Annual Summit in Phoenix, and one of the company owned by the pharmacist that came up with the alkaline water, hydrogenated water. The package is not in plastic bottle.
Oh.
Package is those
like Tetra Paks or
not even Tetra Pak. It's actually like inside is some sort of a metal, metal and whatever foil type of thing. And I can tell you his water tastes different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I should talk to him, but I lost contact of him, but I'm gonna try and get a hold of him and see. Like he was like, that was his patented thing. I think he's from California or around there. Yeah, he was giving everybody, all the attendees, free water, and his water tastes different.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because I'm like a water snobby. Like I can really tell the difference between different waters. I can't stand a certain, I won't name the name, but a brand name of water. I just can't stand it. There's something about the taste there. But I will guarantee you one thing. The whole purpose of this was for people to start looking at water in a different way, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not all the same. There's different things out there, but there's something that will, and I heard this just a few months ago. So now there's stores coming up, and there's actually places coming up where they do water testing instead of wine testing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they sell bottles of water for a lot of money, just like wine and all the rest. This is something that's it's continuing on the power of water in so many different ways, right? And it'll be fun to see what's gonna come out of all this.
Yeah. Well, the key thing is, again, drink enough based on your body weight, and don't overdo it, but gradually get there where you need to be. And if you don't, like, I'm supposed to drink 2 liters, and if I get only 1 liter that day, that's fine. There's tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
you go back again. I have people that get upset. Oh, I'm supposed to drink 10 glasses a day, and I only got 4, and I'm so upset. I'm like, no, don't stress out on it. It's water.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But we get when I was playing football, we were playing. Well, when I was with the Washington Redskins, we had we were in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, or something like that. Our training our training area for the first 3 or 4 weeks. And man, can the heat really, really saturate your water supply in your body? You know, so um, it's very important that people hydrate, even going for walks, especially in
Yeah.
hot areas like Phoenix, Arizona,
Oh,
California,
absolutely.
Florida,
Yeah.
places like that.
Yeah.
Um, I I think a lot of people really take it for granted. In fact, oh, I'm just going to go walk down the street, maybe walk for a mile and whatever. If you're in the heat, that that mile is going to be very,
Oh,
very,
yeah. Yeah.
uh, very painful if you don't have water.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You can
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
dehydrate pretty quick.
Oh,
exactly.
I know. Yeah, some of my nutritional training was in Scottsdale during the summertime, and the first time we got there during the summer, these like restaurant patio, they have these misting stuff, and we
Missing
didn't
things. Yeah.
know initially why, and then after a day or so, like, okay, where's the mist? You know, you're finding it because you needed it so much. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you
They have
name it.
that. They have those misty things on golf carts in Phoenix, Arizona,
Oh,
Right.
right?
wow.
In the
Yeah,
Okay.
summertime.
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
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 I mean,
for
you
sure.
know, what cost you $280 in the wintertime to golf in Arizona? In the summertime, cost you maybe $25 plus you get to miss.
You get the
Too
mystic
hot.
call. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
All
Well,
right.
gentlemen, it has been great discussion.
Yep.
And if anybody has any question, please comment or ask on the Facebook or LinkedIn, and we will try and uh, get answer to you as quickly as we can. And thank you for joining us. It's been great. You know, water cooler talk. we will we will come back in 2 weeks and have another interesting topic to share and discuss with all of you.
You bet. Thanks so much.
Until
Take care,
then,
everybody.
good night.
Goodbye.